Hello, we are Mike and Tara with Ramblin Home, and we are here to chat about COVID-19.
We are following CDC guidelines and our government direction. The difference is we are full-time RVers and we do not have a sticks and bricks home to quarantine ourselves in.
There's pros and cons to that, so we're going to talk about some of those today and let you know kind of how we're dealing with things, and maybe get some feedback from some of you guys about how you've been dealing and how things are different, across the United States. We encourage you to follow the CDC guidelines that are set out, and we are following those as much as possible, trying to keep the 6-foot distance between other people, but we have mostly stayed in areas that we could explore and do things outdoors, and maintain that distance away from crowds.
You're going to have to figure out ways to stay active, and getting outside is a great way to do that. Number one, it's going to keep you from going stir crazy at home. It's going to get you some vitamin D. Sunlight can do a lot of wonderful things for the immune system. And it's just going to get you some exercise. Nature is still there. It is not closed.
But it is a little bit different in the RV because of just the logistics of everything. For instance, we don't have a ton of storage space. So Mike is used to going to the grocery store every day to buy fresh meats and fresh produce to cook, and that's just not something that we're able to do right now. So we're having to maximize our storage as much as possible.
It hurt my heart to have to buy as much frozen food as I bought when I did go to stock us up for quarantine. If it has to be frozen and canned, then that's what we'll do. I know there's people out there that are doing without, so we really can't complain there.
Very true.
We don't have a lot of dry storage either, so when it comes to paper towels, toilet paper, hand sanitizer,
which we can't find anyway.
Well, I understand to an extent the thought process behind some people stocking up, but there is a certain limit between stocking up and going overboard. Just understand that there's other people out there that either don't have the money, they don't have the room to store, or possibly don't have the means to get out and get all those things as often as they're going to need to.
It's an opportunity to look out for your friends and family and neighbors, especially anyone who's elderly. I know my grandmother's a great example. She is, quarantined and is very anxious about this, and it's understandable that she is. So this is just an opportunity for us to look for more ways to help other people.
My mother is immune compromised, so I won't be seeing her for quite some time. Hi, Mom. Miss you, but it's safer for us to not expose her to potential harm. Another thing that we're really having to be mindful of, we don't have full hookups, so we are having to watch our water usage one way or another. We do have 50 amp power, which is great. We can still run everything that we need to. But even though we have water coming in, we do have a water hookup, we still have to watch how much we use because we don't have a way to dump our tanks on site.
So we will take advantage of the honey wagon while we're here, and they will come and actually dump our tanks. But how that affects us specifically is two ways, I think. Number one, we do have to use the bathhouses while we're here, and they are twice a day during the day. They are scrubbing down the bathrooms, and then every night around 11 o'clock, they're actually bleaching down the bathhouses. So we were really glad that they are taking precautions to clean, but I have been carrying a pack of Lysol wipes with me everywhere I've gone, and I've just Lysol wiped down the handle on the toilet and the sink and the shower and things like that. Anywhere that I have to touch, that there's no other option. I've just been doing that as an additional precaution. And then the other side is that I can't do laundry here. So I did have to go to the laundromat and got some weird stares while I was Lysol wiping down the fronts of the machines and the handles while I was using them. But it's just not worth the risk for us.
So pretty much, I think we've covered everything except for RV parks. We are full-time RVers and wanted to cover a subject that is very close to home for us.
We've been really blessed that we have a plot of land on my family's farm. So if we have no other option, then we have a place to go. But what we've started to realize is that some of these RV parks are not being considered essential businesses, and it's more important than ever that people have parks to go to. And so we are really concerned about the potential of more closing down.
But there's a lot of full-timers that stay in these parks year-round or at least seasonally. Quite a few of them are elderly. So where we're used to kind of breaking camp and moving around every couple of weeks, a lot of these people are not. This is their home. And so if they're forced to evacuate this, they don't have anywhere to go. So please understand that if we're forcing private parks to close, that you're going to be putting a lot of people out there on the streets. They're going to be traveling around this country. They're going to be stopping at the truck stops. They're going to be getting gas. They're going to need provisions. So if you're kicking people out of these parks, you're basically forcing them to get out and about in the public. So be mindful of that. And I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to people that are really going above and beyond to keep this country functioning. The first one is truckers. They are out there moving things around the country that you need. And the second shout out I wanted to give is to the service industry. They're doing it with a much smaller staff, and that staff that doesn't get to go to work is not making their daily cash flow in the tips that they're used to. So order some food to go and maybe a margarita with your tacos. And leave big tips for these people.
And it's going to be really hard for a lot of people as our economy is going to struggle after this. There's basically two problems. We have to get through this COVID-19 issue, and then we're going to have to face the economic issue that follows it up. And so everybody's just at this point trying to do what's right and survive and make the right decisions. But there are a lot of people who are already seeing their livelihood be threatened. And lives, yes, are more important, but when you don't have the money to pay your bills or to feed your children, then that's, it starts to get pretty tough. So just think about those people in the service industries or people who depend on tips for their livelihood, and be a little, if you've got a little extra to give, be sure to give it.
Very true. And the last one is the healthcare industry. We have a very dear friend who is a nurse and expressed her concern with the fact that when she goes to work, she's going to be encountering this virus and does not want to bring that home to her family. So she's currently looking at options to quarantine herself from her family, even though she may not be sick yet. And she has a young daughter and, of course, her husband. So think about these healthcare professionals that are putting their lives at risk and having to stay away from their loved ones because they're there helping get this nation better.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Yep. Thank you all.
We're not freaking out. We, as believers, we believe that God's still in control of all of this, and we know that we're going to survive and we're going to be stronger as a country, and we're definitely taking precautions to stay well and safe and to make sure that we are not causing anyone else to get sick as well.
Yeah, we did want to do this video just to express our concern and give a little encouragement to everybody out there that things will get better. Our government's working hard to make things better.
Let's band together and get through this.
Very much so. So that is all from Ramblin' Home. We appreciate you guys watching. We're going to be quarantined here for the next couple of weeks. So
you may get extra videos. I'm sorry.
We don't have much else to do except read books and record videos. So you'll probably get a few more. But thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And we'll see you next time.
We love you guys.
Stay well.